Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. It's Smart Pipe. Yeah, welcome back. I've been away from the channel for a long time. I've been busy, life, weekend work, college, all that good stuff that gets you ahead in life apparently. Basically means that I didn't have time for racing leagues to happen at the weekends. And honestly, I don't think I even took my racing wheel within a year. So let's do an MX-5 league, why not? So yeah, a series I used to race with way back. They kind of molded out of the old Conelander stuff, Phoenix Racing Club. So they were holding the MX-5 league, and I went, you know what? Why not? Let's join in with that and see what happens. So here we are. This is race 1 of 2. It's a 15-minute race. At Donington Park National, so we don't get the big hairpin. We just get the little jiggy chicane, but otherwise this is as you'd expect. So good start, actually really good start, until I grabbed third instead of second. That's what I get for using flappy paddles, I guess, but here we are. So I lose a bit all the good work I've done on getting the start somewhat right. I'm taking it very cautious because I've done some practice races with AI. There's a car whips behind me. I done some practice races with AI, but I hadn't actually done a race with people. So I'm just being very cautious with everything. I was bricking it to a degree. Say I shit myself a little bit is probably fair, but it's what it is. So we're kind of taking it fairly easy. We're backing off a lot to kind of give everyone space, because I don't want to be that guy that rear ends someone else. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be that guy who's good. But you don't want to be that guy. So again, I'm backing off nice and early, giving myself space, and yeah, should I have slowed down more, seen someone spinning out? Maybe. Should netcode not have shafted me quite so hard? Probably. But hey, that's luck of the draw with online racing. So I get screwed quite a bit by netcode. Can't really be helped. Let's make a recovery run out of this. So I did qualify 9th, which was a mild surprise to me. The guys up front are very good. Photon Burst, who's in first, got within a 10th of a second of the lap, the actual real world lap record for this track. It's a 1:17.1 and he got a 1:17.2. So he's good. Sharky, I think, is up in second. If you've watched my videos in the past or want to go back and watch them, Sharky's typically the guy who won. So Photon's pretty good. I'm not. I think my quali lap was a 18.4, which is not bad, but that was one of the best laps I've ever set. So kind of peaked there. But yeah, no, I'm a solid mid-pack racer in this series, which is fine, because honestly that's where the most action happens. You end up getting kicked up out of different bits and pieces through contact and whatnot, but hey, that's racing. So anyway, we're following, well, I think that was Crossdale. Although I think that tracking is off. I think that was Horanjo, if my memory serves me correctly, but anyway, we are catching up. I think that's the back of Neon's car ahead, which actually puts me... No, that P-tracker is making no sense at all. On the bottom left there, I'm trying to use that to work out where I am. It says I'm stone dead last, so I have no idea. It also says the leader has done 47 laps. I don't believe it so much. Anyway, I haven't even talked much about the track. This is Donington National. If no one's familiar with it, then go race it. It's a heck of a track. And this section is just so fast. It's got that lovely up. You're kind of coming from a downhill to a flat, so you have tons more grip than you think you might for a corner of that radius, and you can just swing it through. Often I come to that corner a little bit sideways. It's fine. And then, yeah, this corner here is actually really tricky for these cars. They love to squirm like that and wreck. So, yeah, that's a fun one. I think that might have been Viper. So, I think me saying Haranjo was that previous one might be correct. Pretty sure that was Viper, because I do distinctly recall while actually racing on the radio going, Viper, no! So that could be Viper. The braking point for this one is actually really tricky as well. And oh, by the way, I'm running without ABS just for the fun of it. And without TC. So I kind of do in hard mode, but hey, it's MX-5s. What you really expect. So anyway, yeah. So that braking point in the start, you can kind of use a bit of the pit lane. You just gotta watch the things coming across. There was a car off on the right, I think. Gunsis? I could be wrong. Maybe it wasn't Gunsis. Can't remember who that was, but anyway. You can go very wildly off track here. This series is using the 3 tires off rule, so you have 3 tires off the track, and you're still counted as within track limits. Some series do 2 wheels off, so you have 2 wheels on, or you can have 1 wheel on. That's kind of how the rules work. We're doing a 1 wheel must be on the track, so you can kind of drift a bit and get 3 tires off and still hold 1 wheel on and you're fine. But anyway, that's not the point. Enforced pretty strictly for qualifying. If you do it in the racing, gain a lot of time, then you're going to be looked at. There is an appeal system in this league, so you can manually appeal after. If you're racing with someone, they cut the track gain advantage, you can go back and appeal it and whatnot. But I don't think anyone's too stingy about it. Plus, most places you run wide in Donington, you just lose time. It's not even close. The way you'll do it is just skip the chicane at the end. That's the way you gain a lot of time. Yeah, anyway, so a lap of the track. You kind of want to touch that curve on the inside a little bit, but not too much. It's so easy to get loose on the outside. Really easy to get loose on the outside. You keep it flat down here. You're going to change to 5th before hitting this corner on the left. And then you're going to downshift to 4th with a little bit of braking. And try and swing over the curb a little bit. That's not too bad, actually. That was a pretty nice one. A little bit of slide, but not too bad. And then I keep it in 4th all up this hill. I don't know if other people change to 5th. I tell you I changed to 5th. But I think not many people stayed in 4th for this corner. I found changing to 3rd, yes, technically slightly quicker through the corner, but you lost time in the gear change out of the corner and ended up about the same amount of time. Same with this corner, exactly the same. You gained slightly through the corner, you lost on the gear change, and it ended up in about the same time for the whole corner. So, it's hard to say whether it's worth or not. Now, this is G-Man and Salzender. I really apologize if I'm butchering that name, but I'm Irish, I don't speak foreign. So there we are. So this is a good fight for a couple of laps. I'll not spoil, but it was fun. It was really fun to actually back racing with other people again. Again, I hadn't been properly racing in ages, and again, you can tell because I'm backing off a lot. I'm giving space. I'm giving room for mistakes and netcode. I've been screwed once this race by what I think was netcode, but again, I couldn't cars bouncing around and an MX-5 kind of way. But allowing netcode to work, I butcher the corners slightly. But again, hanging back sometimes gives you little advantages like this where you can take advantage of situations. And you can see G-Man there ahead of us is definitely rallying around quite a bit. So yeah, if you hang back sometimes, if there's a mistake ahead of you, you get time and space to take advantage of it. So Salzender there ran a bit wider than I did through the old hairpin, so that gave me a chance then to take him on the inside in the next major corner. So you know, sometimes you can things, and you can see that netcode's really throwing me off because I'm kind of, I don't think he's not the kind of guy to brake check me. I know that. But how bad's the netcode gonna be? Could he get me? Like, not him get me, but could netcode get me? So you know, I back off a little bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna let netcode ruin my day again. But yeah, this is what racing is online. But yeah, so we just sit back, we let our opportunities come to us. Again, you see that netcode, it just jumps so far and he'll scoot back away again. But if he jumps back and hits us, I'm pretty sure it's going to pick it up as a collision, even if it's actually not. And you see, we're so much quicker. So I let myself run wide to, I call it avoid a collision, but basically if I didn't, there were going to be problems. So yeah, we take advantage of situations just like that. You can try and force the issue, but is it really worth it? Not really. So that last lap was a 121 while following G-Man. You can see the bottom left. I think that's my best lap down there. It's a 119.3. So there's pace left, and we do have a gap ahead. So I've now passed. I've kind of settled down a little bit again, and now to get at it. Also, with this last chicane, I found it definitely the best to avoid the humpy bits of the curbs. The first one you can take a bit of, but you really want to avoid the second one because you want to get your power down at that point. If you don't have your throttle down by the time you're halfway through the second part of that chicane, you're just slow down the straight. So if I'm hopping the first curb, a little bit works, but keeping it buried on the throttle for the second part is necessary. So that lap already was a 119.9. That was second and a half quicker, I think, than the previous lap. So we've gapped G-Man a little bit. So pressure's off that way. You can relax a little bit and just focus on not going too wide off that curve. But yeah. This corner again is just so fun. It challenges everything you do, to your braking point, to your turn, to your mid-turn, and even the exit is still challenging because it just wants to rotate on you. At least the crappy setup I have. But yeah, that again, we saw, I think it was a Viper spin off it on the start, so you know it's gonna get you. Apparently there's been a lead change to Sword Haven, but I don't know how accurate that is, given that basically it says he's done 47 laps, but who am I to judge? So 119.7. Okay, we're bringing that lap time down. Still not near my PB though. We're kind of still making mistakes, like letting the rear get a little bit loose. I think I was half watching the battle behind, but I was very close to a cut. I think I kept one of the left wheels on the track at any one time. But the battle behind actually looked intense. We actually had a little exchange on Discord afterwards, congratulating each other for a very, very clean, fair battle. Although fair was mostly between the two of them, I was kind of passing through, if you will, trying to catch back up to where I started. Because, you know, just a little bit quicker than those guys, but it was good, clean, fair racing. You can't ask for more. Now, I think this was Psychedelics. I think. I could be wrong. Yeah. The non-ABS hammering me. Was it Psych? Oh no, was that? I think that was Sakia. I think it was a lapping. I don't know how I got my braking that wrong, but it was a slower lap. It was 120 flat. You definitely hear the brakes locking. Yeah, it was easy to get that chicane braking wrong, and actually most of the braking tones you could get wrong pretty easily. At least the ABS off. I'm not sure how it was with ABS on. Decided to set myself a fun little challenge that way. Again, just sliding a little bit. I had set this car up with a little bit of oversteer on purpose, but that's how I like to drive. It's probably not the right way. It's probably definitely the wrong way, but it's my choice. So yeah, that was pretty sweet. I did have all the times briefly pop up there and then disappear. P-Tracker doing what it's gonna. Oh, P-Tracker's come alive. Briefly. Okay, my relative delta's up. Sweet. So that should be about a 1.119.2. No, it was fastest lap. Oh, P-Tracker. Oh, P-Tracker. I feel like there should be an update for that app. I need to get or something because, oh man, I don't actually remember it working that well in replays back in the day anyway. So I don't think anything's really changed. That one might have been a cut. I'll be perfectly honest. Ah, look, be grand. I'm only 3/10 up. It's fine. So that means ahead of me, I think it was Psychedelics, Georgian, and Nihon. It was the admins racing together. Because of course they were. What else are they going to be doing? But I don't think I had the speed overall to catch them. And bless, I tried, but it just wasn't happening. I think that 119.2 might have been my fastest lap of the race. Oh, I might have to prove myself wrong here. But it was a pretty spicy lap. Just, yeah, the whole. Oh no, never mind. That was fast lap. I don't even know myself. But yeah, that incident at the start was definitely a hold back to the whole thing. But anyway, we are recording 16 minutes, so we should be getting close towards the end of the race. I can't remember which lap was last lap. Should probably start an actual timer next time. But hey, why should I be counting the laps I race? It's not even counting laps, it's just time. But anyway, yeah, it was a big off there. I'm not sure what happened to Nihon, but he ended up significantly off track. And again, if anyone's watched previous videos, you want to go back and watch, I've definitely had a few good races with Nihon. There was the last MX-5 series I think I did. We were disturbingly close in pace very often. I remember in particular a very good battle around the Nürburgring. So yeah, he's not a bad racer. He's been driving a lot since. He's been a lot night racing. I was into the race then. So yeah, yeah. Eon's mistake didn't quite bring him back to me, but we caught up a lot. We got an 18.8 in there. It's the fastest lap. So hey, not so bad. I'm gonna switch replays, and I will be back in a moment to bring you the second race. So see you in a sec. Alright folks, welcome to race 2. I don't know why that app is up. Just get rid of Pro Tires there. So welcome folks to race 2. My finishing position previously was 14th. So that's where we start. So we start at the opposite side of the grid now. Instead of the odd number, we're now the even numbers. So we start over this side. We're starting to see now P-Tracker seems to be working somewhat. Start behind Nihon, Psychedelics, and Georgian. Those are the 3 cars ahead. Now we have Salzender and G-Man behind. So that's what we have to look out for. And again, bear in mind this is my second race, having not been back for a while. Again, I've done some offline stuff, but as for racing online with real people, this is race 2. I'm a little scared, even still. So yeah, let's do a jump cut Rooney to the start. Alright, here we are, we're revving up to the start, we're in first gear. I can't see the lights. But there we go. Again, another decent start actually, and this time, I actually take second gear. So there's good news for this race. A pretty good start. Overtake Psychedelics and Nihon. Although Nihon's still up the inside somewhere. Oh no, yeah, I think it's Nihon. Who's directly behind? No, sorry, it's Georgian. Where did the Neon go? Anyway, that's Psychedelics directly behind me, I think. Oh, no, is it? I have no idea anymore. Anyway, gain 2 places. That's all that needs to be known. And now following Georgian and Gunsis, apparently, if the P tracker is to be believed, although it might not be. I think I recognize that as Gunsis' car, I think. So yeah, so the two of us are making our way back up. Sorry, yeah, Gunsis was one of the big incidents at the start of the first race, so he's technically still making positions in the first race as well. So again, we're being careful not to round in the back of anyone, and just kind of watch the gaggle ahead. Oh boy, was this a gaggle. Yeah, I back off so early, and even brake a little bit early and then brake a bit late, because that's how braking works when you're backing off like that. It doesn't make sense anymore. Your braking references don't work. I think even in this race I hadn't actually set my headlights, which is a requirement for the series, so I need to sort that one out for the next race. More importantly, I need to sort it out for the endurance race that's coming up. I think it's solid settings. I need to change anything off automatic. Anyway, we're battling with Georgia here. I'm getting off topic. I go way too deep, but also in the exit he's a bit of a snap of oversteer as well. What can you do? So we didn't lose anything, we didn't gain anything, but we brake quite deep. I think it was because I was watching him too much and not focusing enough on what I'm doing myself. So yeah, pay attention to what you're doing yourself. So have a look up the inside here. It is a possible maneuver, but it doesn't stick. But then it nearly does. Now, downside to going up the inside of Georgian, I'm still out of the next corner, so I think it's Salzender tried to get the inside of me. And Chaos happened ahead. I think there was not James and Trempal ended up going wide in that corner. I don't know what happened between them. Gunsis is now slow as well, so a lot happened ahead of us. We've had a net benefit. Let's go with it. So we're now following Georgian and Gunsis, and Salzender is right up behind me. But I think we have the pace in Salzender. Sorry, touch the mic. Let's see how we do with. I know Gunsis' quickness. We've been keeping up with Georgian so far, so let's see how that keeps going. I know we've more chaos ahead of us. I think that's McLaren Tim. So he's now behind us, so we're not doing badly at the moment. I think we're around 8th, 9th, somewhere around there. So we're back up to roughly where we started the first race in our qualifying session. So we're not doing too badly. We still have work to do. I know we can definitely pass Georgian if we have the pace. We've had the pace so far, so we can pass Georgian. Gunsis, I think, will pass Georgian and get ahead. Gunsis is pretty quick. He wasn't even back when I was in the league before, and he's been doing racing since, so he should be well quicker. And he's lining up for a move now anyway. I back off, give everything space, make sure I can get a good exit out of here. And oh boy, howdy do I. So I'll pull it over, make my intentions clear. He's going to defend the inside anyway. I know Georgian is a staunch defender, so we'll let him have the inside and we'll try and go around the outside. We're kind of giving him plenty of space on the inside, and we just absolutely send it. Couldn't be happier with that move. That was a nice round the outside move, so can't complain with that. Georgian even said over Discord, nice pass, and I said good defending, and we carry on. There was someone on the outside there who disagreed. I think that was Sakia. He's capable of a quick lap, Sakia is. Consistency, as used to be the case with me, seems to be the issue. But yeah, we all start somewhere. We learn, we get better, etc. Anyway. So, we're past Georgian. I think this makes us 8th place, but I'm not sure. Because P-Tracker's having a fit again, because somehow we're 19th, but I know we're not. But anyway. Yeah, it's got everyone on different laps and all sorts of things. But anyway. we're doing okay this race. This isn't bad. We're about 3 minutes into a... Oh, no, we're not. That's a lie. Oh, I have no idea what time it is. Going by fuel, we're about a third into this. It's 25-minute race again, so as I said earlier. And yeah, we're churning our way through it. I don't know how this lap count's working. It's so weird. I get distracted by things that don't matter. Anyway, time to put down some good laps. That's a little wide, but we'll be fine. We didn't lose on the exit, so we kept some good speed out of that. And we're just going to try and follow Gunsis up to the next car. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's what we're going to try and do. Behind we have two teammates. We have Georgian, the other guy, and McLaren Tim. They're teammates. Actually, they're both in those Martini liveries. I think Georgian has a thing for the Martini liveries for some reason. So they're behind each other. I think they orchestrated a pass into the first corner on this coming lap. So the McLaren Tim, who seems to be a little quicker, can hunt me down. I think that's one of my lockups into that bus stop, the bus stop, the chicane. So keep an eye on the rearview mirror. You might see an orchestrated something. If it's this lap, it's definitely the next. Yeah, there you go. It's got Tim pulling out. I think Georgian just lets him through. Their teammates, they're playing for the championship, so they want to maximise their results. So they're going to put faster car ahead, which is the utterly sensible thing to do. So let them out. So now I know I have a faster driver chasing me, because Tim definitely qualified me. He was consistently quick in the first race. I know I have a challenge in my hands, so I'm definitely pushing the track limits on the inside of that corner. And I'll try to lay down some good laps now. So last lap was a 1:19.1. That's not bad. That's up there in my consistent-ish race pace. That was pretty sweet. That was a clip on the inside and a more or less full width of the track on the outside. That was sweet. Delta says I'm 0.5 up, which should give me an 18.6. Assume I don't mangle this again, which is entirely possible because this is smart pipe you're dealing with. I'm an absolute klutz as I lock the brakes. Again, you can clip the inside of the first one, just don't clip the second one, you can't get the power down. So 0.4 up, that should give me a 1:18.5 apparently. That delta's all over the place. But yeah, that's up there. That's actually real close to my quali lap, which is a 1:18.4, so we're kind of in the ballpark of what's possible for me. And even so, I think Tim closed the gap a little bit. Now, I think Gunsis is getting away, but the car ahead of Gunsis, which would be Maestro, I think we're actually slowly catching. So, this is an interesting one. Again, really pushing track limits on the inside. I don't know if I cut that at any point. I definitely did, I think. But again, the league's fairly lenient. If you're not properly gaining time, then it's fine. I believe the league does have a lap count system going on, so they know how many times a driver went off. So if you've loads of off tracks, they're going to look at it. And either you've just been running wide and losing time, or you are strategically cutting corners to gain time and start penalising you. It seems like, as far as I can tell, it's been run like a fair system. I don't think there was any large penalties applied. There might have been, actually. I have no idea. I didn't even check. There you go. So, I think Maestro and Gunsis are teammates, just based on the liveries. As I run horribly wide, you might be able to tell I'm under a little bit of pressure. It was 1:19 flat, so if I hadn't gone wide, I was probably going to be 18.7, 18.8 maybe. Still a pretty good lap for me. Synchronized wide. If they are teammates, oh man, they're teammates for a good reason. Just synchronized. And trust me, running wide in that corner gains you nothing. It does in fact the opposite. So if you're running wide there, you're hampering yourself a lot. But anyway, I do believe I have the pace to catch Maestro. Passing him is an entirely different story, but we can at least give it a go. But I know McLaren Tim behind me he's reeling me in. He's definitely closer than Georgian, and he's closing the gap. So I'm pushing for everything I have. because if he catches me, then I'm buggered. I think. Now, I might be able to defend, but I want to be in the position where I don't have to do defensive driving, because one, that's difficult to say the least, to do cleanly at least, but also it'll slow both of us up, so any chance of getting a past Maestro or benefiting from any mistakes ahead, we're totally screwed. I wouldn't be able to do it, so yeah, I want to just keep driving quick. 18.9, that's alright. I know it's 4/10, but for me that's within my fastest, that's okay. Sub 19 is kind of my target race pace. I take a 19 flat, but if I can get below that consistently, then that would be fine. My consistency range is kind of like a couple tenths. I could stay within that window, but I can't drive, you know, an 18.8 lap after lap after lap. I'm not that good. The boys up front, they're that good. Me in the middle of the pack, I'm not that good. Yeah. Now that was wider than I'd like to be there. That corner is really interesting. You can take the inside. If you're slow through the corner, you can take the inside and not actually lose that much time because you've done a shorter route. But you really don't want to overdrive that corner, because you go wide and slide. It's a whole lot of no bueno. Especially if you touch the grass. Don't touch the grass. No touchy. It disagrees horribly with the handling of the car. So I say I can't run consistently. I do an 18.9.0, I think, and then an 18.8.9. About as consistent as you can be. What can you do? Commentator's curse? Question mark? Anyway, that was wide, and will continue to be wide for some time. Oh dear. Oh dear, right. Tell you what, they really are momentum cars. Yeah, they don't have a huge engine, so if you can keep extra speed through a corner, you just gain on the next straight. Assuming you don't do slideys. If you do slideys, then yeah, that's gonna slow you down. But mid-corner speed is huge in these, especially if you can carry it through to the exit. Of course, mid-corner speed matters nothing if you can't carry it to the exit, but that is rather key. Now, what I had been finding with McLaren team is that corner exits, I actually tend to be a little bit better, although I'm not sure how much that takes into account that he's later in the corner, but I'd always pull a gap. He'd never stay with me on a straight. As I say that, he's sticking pretty close here, but you don't try and move into the old hairpin. You put pressure on for sure, but you don't send it up the inside. That's how you take both people out, because that line is so tight. So I think does he get close enough? I say I'm bringing to the corner exit. He's now catching me on the straight. I think he goes for it up the inside here, but dropped back. So I kind of hung it around the outside, and he was right up my ass again. So he had a look, didn't go for it. Seems to be playing by my metaphor of. Now you see, actually behind me there, he was catching me in third gear. I think he dropped a gear. But see, when you change to third gear, he stopped catching. So that's why I think fourth gear through that corner was slightly better. But yeah, that's. Anyway, yeah. So he seems to be following my philosophy as well of don't force the move, wait. More than likely, an opportunity is going to present itself. The problem is when the guy in front knows that as well, then things stalemate a little bit. You got to try something at some point. But hey, that's racing. That's all racing. And these cars are great cars to do it in, I gotta say. The MX-5s are solid. They're fun. Like, sure, they're not fast. They haven't got huge amounts of grip. But there's very little you can do to make one faster than the other. It's all down to the driving. Now, as I say that, I run wide, so now at a disadvantage of this hill. I'm going to take the outside again because I want the corner exit speed. So I let him at the inside. And yeah, I hit the gravel. And it took the both of us out. That was just disappointing. So yes, I reversed onto track. But also I was coming back off track, so I thought it was okay. And then here, I nearly take out Nihon. Yeah, I was so focused on getting going again, I just wasn't watching the relative timer up. I just was not watching that. Nihon got on the radio going, "Don't come on track, don't come on track, watch out, watch out." And thankfully, no contact. Smart pipe learned a lesson today. Don't just dive back on track. Even if you think it's clear, stay offline until you're up on speed. Until you know it's clear. Don't assume anything. So 2 races, 2 incidents. That one was my fault entirely. It was close racing, but I was on the outside. I caught the gravel. I spun. To quote Kimi Raikkonen. So yeah. Look, you learn. Since then, McLaren team has offered a spot for me on his Le Mans 6 Hours team, so there's no hard feelings. It's racing, shit happens, and off tracks happen too. So yeah, so I think that dropped us down to 12th. So from 8th to 12th, I think we lost 4 positions out of it. It's unfortunate. As we see our lovely skid marks. But again, this is racing. It happens. You apologise for it. You carry on. Now, is it possibly squeeze me too far out? Maybe. But probably not. I just got wide and found some gravel. It got loose. You can see me trying to correct it, and that's not happening at that point. So you just put your head down, you carry on. So after spinning, a little bit of contact with the wall, we put down a 116, 118.6, 116, whoa, calm down, 118.6, so there's no pace lost, we've just mangled 2 laps, or, yeah, 2 laps? Yeah, a lap, sorry. Someone's off track, I can't remember whom. Was it Trempall again? I think it was Trempall. Yeah. Looking at the on-screen timer, or it was a lap car. I think it was Trempall. Anyway, not hugely relevant to our race. Yeah, it was. Anyway, so yeah, we're just counting down the laps now. We're presumably getting close to the end, and we're just trying to catch up with Nihon. There's nothing else we can try and do. Just lay down some good laps. Oh, I never talked about tires of this track. So we're using real world weather with a program called Sol. You can look up at Race Department or any other good modding site, and it introduces the lighting and the clouds. You can see as I absolutely mangle the chicane. It's going to do wonders for me catching up to the rest of them. So it's introducing the clouds, the lighting. I think it improves the day-night cycle as well, or even adds it. I'm not actually sure. I don't think I've ever done default night mode. But adds all this good stuff. But because we're using real world weather, and it's October in Donington Park in the UK, it's cold. I think track temperature, air temperature is 15 degrees or something in that ballpark. 13, 15 degrees, somewhere around there. 15 even sounds high, it was probably 13. Tires are stone cold. Don't even think about trying to get temperature to tires. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, it's just nah. Spicy. But as we discussed in this Discord, it's the same for everyone. It's not like you're racing at it's 15 degrees while everyone else is at 30 degrees, nice toasty tires and all the rest. No, that's not how it's working. So it's the same conditions for everyone. No one's at advantage, no one's at disadvantage. Someone's arguing that it benefits the better drivers because they're more capable to adapt, but does it really? I think that just means the better drivers are still the better drivers. I don't think it really affects that much. But yeah. So looking at it, we seem to be making progress into the gap to Neon. I believe he had an incident early in the race. He might have one of those cars that went off that I couldn't identify. And I think he picked up a little bit of left front suspension damage, so he was constantly turning right, I think. So he was having a tricky race, to be fair to him. And if the damage sounds as bad as it did on the radio when it did happen, he's doing a stellar job. Just keeping the car on the road at this pace. Yeah, that's adaptiveness right there. It's doing a stellar job. Yeah. So what are we at? We're at 20 minutes. We should be very close to the end by now. 1 or 2 laps, surely. 16 laps. 16 laps by 1:18. Should be close to the end. My guess is this next lap, but I could be wrong. This is 18.6. So that's not a bad lap for me. I never noticed those smokestacks in the background, actually. Huh. Just get hidden by the hill here, don't they? Oh, someone's wide. Including me. Yeah, that's how we do it here. If you don't go wide a couple of times, you're definitely not trying hard enough. You see the gap really falling to Nihon, and then I slide it. I think this could well be the last lap if I'm trying that hard through that corner. You see the gap decreasing, like, oh, I gotta go for it. Yeah, go for it a little bit too hard, you lose all that good time. Something lock up ahead of me for the corner. Nope, we definitely got one more at least. Bless me for being wrong. In 18.7, I might have been on for a PB before having those little slidey moments. Oh well. Who was that ahead of Nihon there? Oh, Salzender. I have a feeling I'm not going to be far from him a lot during the season. And Nihon, actually, again, second race in a row, I'm right up behind him towards the end. Now, I really like Donington track. I may not be as fast relatively on other tracks, but we're going to see how that one works out. And again, you can see how much battling takes time out here. It really hurts your speed. Now, I could have kept it full send up the outside here, but you just can't, because how late I want to brake. Is Salzender going to brake that late? I just don't know. I went around the outside anyhow. I forgot about that. That was adventurous, I think, to say the least. Yeah, I totally forgot I did that. That was cautious but brave all the same. Like I definitely backed out of that one way before the braking zone. But it seems like Nihon backed out about the same amount, so we were still side by side, and I think I decided just to see what happens at the second apex, and it all worked out, and that was definitely a cut. It was 100% a cut. Yeah. Oops. I actually found track limits super aggressive at this track. There was some corners in qualifying where you couldn't even consider crossing the apex. It was just going to go lap cut track detected, lap will not count, or whatever that warning is. Basically, bruv, try again. Okay, based on the fuel that I have remaining, this has to be the last lap. I did actually get a fuel warning in the game. whoever had I think it was Psychedelics, put the fuel count in to the Discord chat, and he was right. Oh, did Nihon get me? I don't think he did. Oh, did he? Oh. Was there one lap left? Hardly. There has to be a lap left. Damn it. Oh no, that wasn't... Who was this? Oh, this is Trempol. Trempol got me, that's it. Yeah. Forgot about that. I forgot about the whole last half of this race. Oh well. Yeah, no, Trempol is definitely a quicker driver than me. If he gets by and disappears in the different distance, then that's fine with me. He'll be well able to do it. So yeah, again, being cautious but trying to stay quick. I gotta say, I don't remember. I think we did MX-5 last time. There wasn't damage on, so bumping and bashing was fine. I never remember the denting mechanic in the back, which is actually looks sweet. I gotta say. Oh, I lost so much time there. Locking the brake and sliding is just not good. And that's the end. Some habits die hard, and smashing someone who's spinning after the finish is a go-to. So anyway, this has been Smart Pipe. I'm back, to quote someone. But yeah, I'm back racing. This weekend I don't have a race, but next weekend on the 7th we have 6 Hours of Le Mans, which I'm hoping to stream and solo the race on my Twitch channel. So same name as here, Smart Pipe. You can search that, and I should be streaming. It starts at 6 p.m. on the 7th. You're welcome to come and join me as I try and solo 6 Hours of Le Mans. Please help. But yeah, I guess anyone who's actually watching this is probably in the racing series and not going to watch because they're racing too. But if you're looking for someone to watch while you're waiting, I guess, then feel free to drop by and say hi. I should tweet the chat up and I'll be able to reply as we go. So yeah, don't be afraid to join in. This has been round 1.